Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast, which is brought to you by Omaha Steaks. And this Father's Day weekend, well, it's not far away now. You know, literally you have a few days to get this done. So go to omahasteaks.com and order for Dad now. And at the end of the podcast, we'll have a code for you that'll help save you some money on that gift.
So call this one the After the Show, annoying After the Show podcast.
Oh, goody.
Because apparently we hit on this in 3 Things to Know today, the things that annoy us most, right? Remember what we said? What's the number one thing that annoyed people? Running into someone that you don't want to run into.
Oh.
When you're in public and you just walk right into someone that you didn't want to see. Apparently that's very annoying.
So that's not something someone does to you. That's just an annoying thing that happens to somebody.
It just happens. Yeah. In fact, most of these that round out this big list, according to the survey, it's when you don't expect, it's what you don't expect. You're not ready for something. It's bothersome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like running into somebody I didn't expect because you know, it's rare that it happens, but you're not ready for it. You're not dressed right. Maybe you don't look good enough.
And if it's a person that you don't know that well, my mind instantly goes, name. Who is this? I can't place the person.
And Sam, you wouldn't just say, "I'm sorry, your name is escaping me"?
It depends on the conversation.
Okay.
If it was one of those just, hey, how you doing kind of things, and then on your way, no. But but then
it's okay to be
honest. The rest
honest.
of the day it would be, who was that?
Yeah. Yeah, I've learned to just get comfortable with "I'm sorry," it escapes me, because then you'll actually spend the conversation having the conversation instead of wondering what the person's name was.
Okay.
Because that's a distraction and a half.
So
and rarely does the name come back to you anyway.
When you see someone you don't want to talk to, that's the number one, according to this survey. Maybe there's people you would if they didn't see you and you could get away, you'd do it.
Done it.
But really.
Oh, yeah.
But if you see them, that's it. You got to do it.
Yeah.
The other thing is, this is a big one. We have talked about this at length because of my grandmother, Murphy. Getting a knock or a ring on the doorbell, getting a knock on the door when you didn't know anybody was coming over. Yeah. You didn't get a text.
See, that's different to me than the first one of running into someone that you don't know. Because, I mean, to me, that one's easy enough to handle if you decide you don't want to have the conversation like Sam does.
You don't answer
the door. You don't? Right, exactly. Well, no, I don't know about that. I guess you could avoid answering the door. But if it's somebody that you know, and they know that you're there, I mean, it's...
you can think I'm there. What if I'm in the bath? Or what if I might be in the bath?
I don't know. I mean, I guess there's not... I'm one of those that... And you know this about me. And so it's just like, even if there's somebody in public, I'm not an avoidance person to me.
No.
I mean, I'm going to have a conversation because here's the thing. If they spot you, it's clear that you're avoiding them. And to me, that is just a negative energy.
They'd have to look in your window, but yes.
No, I don't mean that at the house. I'm talking about the in public thing in general.
Oh, you're going back to the in public thing.
Well,
sure.
But the same thing applies for, at home.
However.
Unless it's a complete stranger. But if it's somebody you know, that's different.
However, though, it's not polite to knock on someone's door without them expecting you.
I agree with that.
That's why we've talked about it so many times, because my grandmother, in her mind and heart, it was not a problem, because to her, she would have loved it. If any of us would have just come knocking on her door anytime, she would have loved it. So she never thought for 1 second that there was anything wrong with her knocking on the door, but she would just show up.
Is that how things were back in the day?
For her, maybe. But I can remember being a small child, and when we would have surprise company, whether it would be my grandmother or the mother-in-law, my mom's mother-in-law, my other grandmother, it was not my family within the walls of our house. It wasn't loved when there was a knock on the door when we weren't expecting someone. It was like, what's going on here? There was a lot of, like discussion.
Well, it catches you off guard because
we're not dressed. We're not ready.
Right, it's the surprise factor, and that's a big one too. If you're not,
dressed,
if you're not dressed, it throws you off kilter. But I don't know that I would call that annoying.
I think a lot of people feel it's annoying.
If it's somebody who doesn't get the common courtesy, and yes, you're right. Your grandmother they were a very communal kind of family, and so she was used to there not kind of being those boundaries, I suppose. But the
right.
But the thing about that time is you could still have called, and there was no texting, but right, you could have.
Yeah, but called. No one was going to tell her that.
By the way, if you're in the bathtub or whatever and you don't want to answer, ring doorbell.
Oh. You can say something.
They'll knock on the door and look, as long as you have your tub in the bath, and you can look and say,
Your phone in the bath.
Hey, your phone in the bath, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm in the tub right now. I'll get back with you.
Oh, that's so
You've
weird.
done that before?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Not for anonymous solicitors, because I have my no soliciting sign for that.
Yeah.
I mean, like if a neighbor came over to give me something.
Okay.
It's like, just leave it by the door. I'm in the tub.
Yeah. Okay. So it's the unexpected that annoys us in life. So knocking on the door. To me, the knocking on the door thing, Murphy, also it is it's annoying to me only if I'm just arrived home and I just got comfortable with my lunch or with my binge.
Mm-hmm.
It's finally time for me. And, if there's a knock and it's like, what? Really?
Yeah.
It's just human nature.
Yeah, I do think it's human nature. Yeah.
The other one on the list, people talking to you when you want silence. Sam, would you like to take that one? We know you. That's a thing.
I mean, yeah, times. But, I mean, you also, too, like Murphy said, there are times you just politely, you're going to deal with it.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
That's the easiest way to deal with that one is, hey, I'm trying to concentrate now. Can I get back with you?
Or politely
that's an easy
just
one.
have the conversation.
Yeah.
Be a human being and realize that, for instance, working in an open workspace, if you have a cubicle situation where it's open workspace and you're trying to work and someone's speaking to you, sometimes it's right to it's called a boundary, and to say, hey, I want to hear about this, but I'm in the middle of an important email.
Yeah.
That's a sweet, nice way to put a boundary up. Or sometimes you have the conversation.
Yeah.
Because you're a human being and you work with people.
Yeah.
Some other things on the list that just annoy us. It's always the unexpected. Wi-Fi lagging or cutouts.
Oh, God.
I see that because that's not an interpersonal thing. I was going to say that the first half of the list sounds like somebody written by somebody who's totally antisocial.
Oh, it's not written by. It's a survey of Americans, U.S. Americans, being surveyed on what actually honestly annoys them.
Yeah.
Makes them feel stressed. Listening to someone chew loudly is on the list.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's like probably one of my top 3.
Yeah, you're not alone in that, too. I have other friends
Loud
who...
smackers.
Yeah, but here's the thing that I've learned about that over the years, and it is, I would love to know the psychology behind that one because it's a very common one, but you just have to deal with it. Sometimes it's not people opening their mouths or whatever. It's whatever they're eating, and it is what it is.
Something loud.
And you
An
just
apple.
ignore it. Right, exactly. I mean, don't let it eat you. But it's a really easy. Yeah, it's an easy one to get under your your skin for whatever reason.
We're all just human.
But it's not worth getting in an argument over with somebody.
Phone notifications going off during a meeting is on the list. Yeah. It's almost like, how dare you disrupt all of this? When it could just as easily be you.
Sometimes they've got a really cool ringtone, though, like "Don't Fear the Reaper," something like that. And you're like, okay.
We used to have somebody in one of our weekly meetings that his phone would blink, that the light, the flashlight.
Yes.
It would just blink. So he had it on silent, but the visual was just like
same thing, yeah.
Going off over there in the corner of your eye.
Yeah. It's funny. Those are the basics. Heavy breathing. Hearing someone with heavy breathing is also on the list. But interesting that other people in your space, when you don't expect them, top the list. Running into someone that you don't want to talk to. And that could be an awkward. That could be you're divorced now and you don't want to see your ex's best friend. It's awkward for you in your heart and soul. Mm-hmm. So as much as you're right, Murphy, that we have to, grow up, man up, woman up, and be in this world. There are people that it's hard for you to be around.
Oh yeah, I mean there's no
Stressors.
right or wrong way to do that. I'm just saying that that's not me.
Knock on the door being a big one too.
The not using a turn indicator, that didn't make the list.
That
anyway?
did not make the list.
See, there should be Sam's list on this one. That would be
Work on that list for us, Sam. You need to add to this list at least 2 or 3 things that are not on the list for most Americans, and that's your assignment for later this week. Okay, in the show.
Turn indicator, top of the list.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.